cracks me up because she's still looking out the window. She's got her head right there. She has lost a lot of weight, but I don't know if her legs are just keep bothering her, or if she's just gotten in this habit of whining at me. And she just whines and cries at me all day, and I can't ever tell, like, is she in pain? Is she just bitching and moaning? Like, what? And also, like an Amber Heard, I don't know her either, so I'm not, but that type of representation of very opportunistic, one thing too, I think for guys who have a lot of money, and they've got a lot of ego associated because, all of a sudden they think like this young, hot girl would want them for themselves. And it's like, I think she probably wants what you have and is willing to put up with you for as long as possible to have what you have. I kind of think I'm more of the kind of person who, if I was super rich and went with somebody who was, I would be thinking that, I watch too many Lifetime movies. I mean, they're going to kill me for the money. Yeah, I don't know. I guess I don't have a lot of faith in a lot of people. Because a lot of people are kind of dastardly. It's like they think they can just, I think it's reactive. It's like being reactive in life. But they think like life's handed them a hard time. So then therefore they can just, beat everybody else down. And that's okay because they have a hard time. It's like, that's the weird thing. I was like, you can't even understand other people's perception of how they're seeing the world and how they're understanding things and stuff like that. And that is our differences in our consciousness as conscious beings. And, us to understand that we need to give everybody their own pace to learn by. And, one thing is if you are around people who don't know things that you know, but you keep trying to tell them, but they can't hear you, they don't understand, or whatever. They have to go through that experience. And as you can watch somebody go through the experience, it can be very frustrating. But that is to also, for us in that experience with this, to go through this, is because we need to learn about patience, or understanding, compassion, or whatever it is that is brought up in you. And it may not be the primary emotion. You may have to dig a little deeper and get into more of the roots of the situation of what is triggering you. You hear? It's like this girl is just like wild. Trixie, lay down and stop. You need to relax. I'm trying to teach her to relax. She did really good yesterday. She actually laid down and just relaxed. Relax. Oh boy, that girl is like being with somebody who is on speed all the time. It's just like, oh my God. Oh, I like to stay a little bit calmer. And it's like high energy, high anxiety is just like it, there's nothing you can do. Their energy is going to affect your energy. And that's the funny thing, too, where the guy is talking about the empath and how much that's bothering him. So this is, I want to say what I understand about the empaths or empathy. So empathy is having, we had to talk about this so much in nursing because we had to have empathy without having sympathy. You couldn't be sympathetic to the patient. You had to be empathetic to the patient. So we had to, it was probably a fucking class. And anyways, so, having empathy for someone is, you can feel like have an understanding for their pain, but you're not gonna feel sorry for them, but you can also understand what they're going through and feeling, you know what I mean? And so the thing about empaths you know, and where I think a lot of these people who have like social anxiety and are highly sensitive and stuff like that, you know, are calling themselves empaths. And then this guy is getting so mad because they're going out and saying like about it. But, you know, if you're coming from a place that's not healed and you are having, you're highly sensitive and, you know, you have anxiety disorders and stuff like that, then you haven't healed yourself. So it's not very productive for you to go out and tell somebody else how to heal that, unless you are doing it as like, hey, let's work on this together, you know, let's try this. I'm going to try this, you know, and maybe, you know, you build a community and you guys are doing it like that to try and understand how to control your social anxiety and still have the sensitivity to feel others' feelings, but you won't be controlled by others' feelings. And, you know, as somebody who has social anxiety, like that's a complex thing, you know, there can be so many things that it has to do with. And, you know, you have to go in, and that's why everything is like a personal thing. You can't just go to somebody else and say, hey, psychologist, fix me, tell me what's wrong with me. They're going to look at it through their pain, their own suffering. They're not going to look through your eyes. They don't know what you've been through. You can tell them all day long. They didn't go through the experience. One thing too is yesterday, oh God, hold on. Stella tried to just stop in the door, and I don't even know what she's looking at. I mean, it's like it's a porch, so there's a thing above her head. She's always got to go out. On her first house when she was little, it was a deck and it was up in the air, and she would go out, you know, and she could see over everything. I don't know what the hell she's doing out here. A little shove on her butt. Keep it moving, sister. Anyways, the thing that I had seen, it was about healing and perspective. Let me see if I can get back on track. So when you go to a psychologist and you're seeing things, it was about experiencing, and you know, how it can change your attitude. Like this keeps being shown to me, and there was such a significant one the other day, and I wish I could have remembered it. But it has to do with the good, the bad, and stuff like that. Why there is no good or bad, because it all has to do with your experience. And so, you know, I'll just pull this one. You know, so if in the one show I've been watching, and she had to kill somebody to protect somebody else. Now she's feeding into that dark energy. Like, she liked how it felt, and she's kind of, you know, pulling from that dark energy now. But the whole thing is, in reality, when you are pushed into a situation, which, you know, other people would say, well, that's bad. But when you have an experience that you see it as not bad anymore, because you experienced what would lead somebody into having to do that. So it is all by your own personal experience, which guides your barometer of where you align in all things. You know, if you want to call it good and bad or whatever, but it's how you will find your alignment. And so you're going to this other person for your healing, which, you know, I've been to a lot of different psychologists, and there is a huge assortment of different ones. And a lot of people, they don't like the ones that will just sit and listen. They want someone to tell them what to do. They feel stuck. They feel frustrated. They don't know what to do anymore with their life. And they're so cut off from themselves that anything that they hear inside is only going to frustrate them more. So, you know, they go to somebody else who will tell them what to do. Well, this person is telling you from their own experiences. Most people who went into that profession, They went into it to try and understand themselves because of their own pain and suffering that they went through. So they're trying to understand themselves, and now you just turned yourself over to them. So they get another little piece of clay to play with. You know, you're your own piece of clay to play with. You're the one who has to figure out your own self. And it all comes from inside. And I say it over and over and over and over, but that is, it's just so what everything is. And I feel like that, you know, I can say that to some people and then they think it's silence. You know, I don't know what you're talking about. I don't know what you mean. There's people who are talking out there. And what are you saying? We're surrounded by ghosts and, you know, stuff like that. Like they're seeing things in such a different way, you know, and I don't know their soul's journey. I don't know what they're here for. And, you know, I'm not going to sit there and keep trying to get someone to understand something how I understand it. They'll understand it the way they need to understand it until they understand it different. Same as me. I'll understand it the way I understand it until I understand differently. But some people, they may not hear it in voices. Like I can hear voices in my head. I can hear the talking and stuff. So, but I can also feel it, and I can also know it. So it's like in more than one way of my understanding. And so you know, you may not hear it in voices. It may come as an inner knowing. It may just come in as a visual. I mean, it can come in such a variety because it all has to do with your consciousness, how you're perceiving this experience. And what's even crazier is that we are creating that experience at that time altogether, you know? It is, you know, when you start really seeing life from this other way of interconnection, and, you know, that you are an eternal being, and you're here having an experience, and it's, you know, just one experience out of many, many, many experiences, and that you are connected to all things and stuff, it just changes everything about life. Like, I wish everybody could have that inner knowing because it gives you such peace. And, you know, I see so many people who are so scared and so lost and so sad and so much suffering and stuff. And it does make you almost feel like you're selfish to feel good and to feel happy and to feel peaceful. And, you know, I feel like it is just, you know, the most important thing is to just get in touch with yourself. And there's a way to do it. And I talk about all the different kinds of ideas that I can come up with and stuff. But, you know, I don't know how deep some people have buried theirs and how cut off they are from their inner selves and their inner knowing. And, you know, this grand awakening that's about to occur, you know, maybe that's what's going to all of a sudden flip the switch and they're going to hear it loud and clear. And, you know, that's going to start changing everything. So, you know, I don't know what's about to happen, but I do know that that is, you know, that's the road. It's the vehicle that you need to take towards your own enlightenment and inner healing. Is you. You are the one. There is nobody else. There is nothing else. And it has been really great for me being out here isolated in the woods. It's funny too, is because, you know, it's about to be my 60th birthday next weekend. I think it's next weekend. Yeah, next weekend. And it is, you know, I don't have any plan. I thought that life was going to be different. I thought I was going to be going on a trip and stuff. But then when it started being like, you had to have these passports and, you know, I don't even want to wear one of these for 8, 10, 12, 15 hours on a plane. So, yeah. And like right now, everything in Washington State just opened up 100%, supposedly. I haven't even been to town. And, so again, you know, this is, I mean, I kind of like feel sad that, you know, it's supposed to be this big landmark birthday or something, and it will be pretty, you know, insignificant, and it will just, you know, come and go. I was thinking, well, I could get myself something special, but you know, I don't wait for holidays and stuff to do that. If I want to do something special for myself, I'll do it. I don't need to wait. So that didn't really fit. And I don't feel, you know, like everything's open, but it doesn't feel like it's open. You know what I mean? Like it still feels more safe to be here in my little, you know, my little cubby hole of the world, because I mean, like, I know stuff is still going on. Like, I know we're still in this war, in this battle, and I'm not really, you know, I don't know if part of the opening is to reclose to get people to wake up. I don't know if part of the opening is just to get people to think like, so now we're just back to normal after all that. Like, I am not really sure what's going on, but I still just feel more like I just want to still be here. And I am planning a trip. It's going to probably be in America, like I said, with the Keys or something, because I don't want to have this on for extended period of time, and I'm definitely not getting one of those. So, my brother and his wife are going, you know, it was supposed to be a trip because mine and hers birthday is one day apart, and they're going to Dominican Republic or something. And then, you know, throughout the stuff, I've been separated from my family anyways, because I became the crazy conspiracy theorist. So, you know, I'm too crazy to talk to. And, you know, I've got anger management. Oh, this is a list. So, anyways, they're still going. And my mom just told me, you know, that, you know, they have to have the passports and stuff like that. And I you know, I just don't want to do it. I want to plan a trip. I want to have something to look forward to, and something where I feel like, well, I'm celebrating my birthday, my 60 years on this planet, going and seeing someplace beautiful that I've wanted to see for a long time. So anyways, it just is, it's weird. It's just weird because it does that for your whole life. They put so much expectation on these certain birthdays. And then, you know, I'm in a new place. I've got one friend and we're going to go out to eat, but not on my birthday. But one friend I mean, I've got other people that I go out, but, you know, I mean, this person texts me all the time and stuff like that and tries to build a friendship. And, you know, there's other people, but you know, it still is that distant kind of thing. You know, people have their own lives going on. You don't just go as an adult and just make best friends immediately. I lost all of my life. I lost my livelihood, my life, my every single thing, my identity, everything when I got my brain injury, my friends, everything. So, you know, this, and, you know, everybody, my family was here a couple weeks ago, and everybody's not going to, you know, rush over here, drive 6 hours to come have birthday cake with me or something. And I'm not going to drive over there to have birthday cake. So, you know, it is very much of just like this big birthday that I'm just going to sit here and celebrate by myself. And I'll talk about it that day. I'm sure I'll talk to y'all and say like what I'm feeling and stuff. But it's weird because I do keep having all these emotions, and it's like, it's just a day. You know, I've never been that person who has to have like, you know, hey, everybody, it's my birthday, let's celebrate. I've never been one of those kind of people. So it shouldn't really have that much effect on me, but it's weird. Anyways, so have a great day, and I'll talk to you later. Bye.